Hello. So, hi, I'm back again, and I'm reading out this dream from December 29th, 2023. It's on page 635. So, perhaps I would share the window as well while I read the dream out. Or let me read the dream without sharing the window. I would share the window as I am led. I might share the page in the middle. Well, I have several versions here of this document, and let me go to this. Yeah, the latest version. So this is the latest by the latest. I mean the version that was edited edited with the completed dream and the date on which the page was edited and completed is shown to be here 11th of September 2024. Now, if I look at the stream, I had made some notes. I had made some notes and then I wrote the entire dream afterwards. I completed the dream, completed writing the dream at a later point in time. So, this is a dream from the middle of the night of December 29th, 2023, which is to say, somewhere in the middle of the night, I woke up from this dream and then I wrote it on the afternoon of that day. So on the afternoon of December 29th, I began writing this dream, or I made some notes to complete writing the dream. So here is the dream. So I stand, I'm sharing this dream. Yeah. So if you see here, this is the most recent most recent versions. Yeah. So I did not use the word latest for that I used before. The drones, they are able to say things, or they are able to, so they cannot say anything they want. As soon as I begin to speak, and they know what I have to speak as they read my mind, as they have that chip implanted in my mind. So that's how they can go along with what I'm saying. And that's how they change things a bit as I speak things out. So this is the dream. I stand at the right edge of the top of a building. I see an open hall running along, and it's filled with colored crocodiles, veering slightly in their green shade as they lie on the cemented floor in vertical columns, one behind the other. All right. So I'm standing at the top of a building and I'm standing at the right edge. To say I must be standing at the roof of the building, and I'm looking down from the edge of the roof. And when I look down, I see an open hall. So it's not an empty ground down below the building, but it is an open hall, and it runs along the wall of the building. And there are crocodiles there. They are wearing in their green shade, and they're lying on the cemented floor on the hall. Uh, they're lying on the cemented floor of the hall, and they're lying one after the other. And there are many such columns of crocodiles. There are many such columns of crocodiles. So there's so this is one crocodile after another, then another crocodile. And this way I have a row, and they're varying slightly in their green shades. And then there is another column, and then there is another column. So there's of the of crocodiles, and they're all facing to the right. They're all facing to the oh, so I'm using my right hand, and it's showing so so they're all facing to the right. So as they're all facing to the right. Also. Yeah, so the sight is too scary to look at. The sight is too scary to look at. How can all those crocodiles stand still in such an organized manner? So they are still moving a bit as they move their tails around a bit. So it was a very scary sight in the dream. I see that more crocodiles are being let into the hall from its wide entrance gate behind them. So if say this is a say if this is a hall, all the crocodiles are facing to the right. Then on the left side is a gate. There is an entrance gate. Are being let in from that gate. And there is some space here, extra space or some empty slots at the back where the crocodiles are not arranged but are lying in somewhat unorganized manner as more of them are brought in from the open entrance gate. Um, yeah, but why are they brought in there in the first place? They should be in a forest's water body or at a place where they can't cause harm to humans. So I see that the people who let the last crocodile in didn't seem to be afraid of it. And the crocodiles are behaving themselves as they don't attack, but they are still crocodiles and can't. They still possess that huge jaw movements and a strong grip to stifle and devour their prey inside their jaw. Now they are not choosing to do so doesn't mean that one should take all the liberty to behave in whichever way around them one would like. So if the crocodiles are not behaving in the way crocodiles behave, it doesn't mean that we one takes the liberty to behave in whichever way one feels like in front of those crocodiles. You have to still take some precautions. This is the first time that I am seeing something like this in this dream. I am glad that at least they are not moving around wildly, escaping into the open streets. Now, that is something that is good about the situation, that all of them are get arranged in that hall. They are not moving around wildly, openly into the open streets. uh, So each column of crocodiles running to the right must be having at least 8 to 9 crocodiles. So each column of crocodiles facing to the right, it has about 8 to 9 crocodiles, one after the other. And there are at least 5 to 6 of such columns, one beside the other, that run along the long rectangular hall. Thankfully, the hall is contained within tall walls on both sides, containing the crocodiles within. So that is good that the hall has tall walls, so the crocodiles are not escaping and uh, running freely on the streets. Or when I look at the right end of the hall, if this is the hall, this is the right end, the direction in which all the crocodiles are facing, I see that in front of each crocodile column sits an innocent tortoise with its back towards them. You know? So in front of each crocodile column, there is a column of crocodile, and in front of it is sitting an innocent tortoise. There's an innocent tortoise that is sitting in front of them, and the back of the tortoise is towards the crocodile. Now, again, I feel relieved that the shell of the tortoise is facing the mouth of the crocodile behind it. So the tortoise is also on the floor on, but it's also on the floor on the hall in front of the column of in front of the column of crocodiles, but it is also facing to the right. And because it is facing to the right, its back is towards the crocodiles, and therefore it is protected. And one can discern the difference in the character of the tortoises from the crocodiles. Why did they put those innocent tortoises in front of the crocodile columns? They seem to have been arranged in this manner for a reason. The innocent identical tortoises make me feel good, while the sight of poor crocodiles is too alarming. Now that I think of it, if the entire hall had columns of identical tortoises, it would have been such a great sight and a comforting one. That would have been a good sight if all the entire hall was filled with tortoises and not crocodiles. But uh, as we see, there are columns of crocodiles with a tortoise in front of each column, and with the back of the tortoise facing the mouth of the crocodile behind it. So, Eric, so if the now that I think of it, if the entire hall, so this is a hall, entire hall had columns of identical tortoises, it would have been such a great sight and a comforting one for one's heart, where one doesn't feel extremely alarmed like one does in the presence of a crocodile. Now that I think about it, I look at how these people make me feel. They seem to be like those self behaved crocodiles that are capable of suddenly attacking its prey and devouring it. Only a few carry the safe and sound persona of a tortoise. I now found I now find myself on the ground floor at the same level as the hall crocodiles, and though I am in the space of my home, there is an open pathway from the floor I am standing at and the hall in front of me. So what has happened now? I as I was looking at the hall, I didn't feel good. I thought how much better it would have been if I only saw tortoises in the hall. And uh, and also it why were those crocodiles even why were those crocodiles uh, present there in the hall? So Yeah, so and then what I saw was I found myself on the ground floor at the same level as the hall. So as the dream progressed, suddenly I was at the same level as the hall, and I was no longer looking down at the hall from the roof of a tall building or from the roof at the top of a building, but I was at the same level, and apparently that level was the ground level of that building. And on that side was the hall with crocodiles and tortoises, and on this side was I. Perhaps there was a wall in between or a short wall, but now I was at the same level on the ground floor, as at the same level as the hall with crocodiles. And though I am in the space of my home, I was standing in the space of my home on the ground floor. There is an open pathway from the floor I am standing at and the hall in front of me. So I'm standing in the space of my home, and that hall across, and that hall in front of me is not a part of the home. It's not a part of the home, but there is an open pathway from that hall to this place that I'm standing at, and therefore a crocodile might come into my space as well. So I look at the self-controlled crocodiles and the women moving around. So there were some women moving around, and the crocodiles looked self-controlled. Those women don't seem to be afraid of the crocodiles. And I realized that they themselves are crocodiles who have shape shifted to a human form as I see them smiling and interacting with others. So you see, some looked exactly like crocodiles, but there were some women who were moving around, and I didn't understand that how can these human women go around these crocodiles without any fear. It was after a while that I realized that those women were crocodiles as well, but they had shape shifted into the human form. And I saw it as they were smiling and interacting with others. And then an extremely dark lady dressed in a dark green sari comes walking to me, smiles, and says something. In the dream, I know that she too is a crocodile, though she may be smiling and talking like a human, but she has the nature of a crocodile. So that lady in dark green sari who came talking to me in the dream, who came who came walking to me in the dream and said something. So in the dream, I knew that she too was a crocodile. And though she was smiling and talking like a human, she had the nature of a crocodile. And she had come to inform me with that smile that they would be giving us one of the crocodiles. But before I can tell her that we don't want one, she leaves, and apparently the crocodile is now going to be delivered anytime as I walk downstairs. So she had come to inform us that they would be giving us one of the crocodiles. I wanted to tell her no, because we didn't want a crocodile. But before I could say anything, before I could tell her that we don't want a crocodile, she left, and now now the crocodile was going to be delivered anytime, as she had already shared with me. And as I was walking downstairs, and I saw that the I saw that what I saw below, it actually looked like that that small hall in the in our second rented house in the Chima colony. So where we lived on the ground floor, it was all closed. So I was looking down at that small hall where uh, on the left side we have a room, a small room with a kitchen with a hut-shaped window, white window, and so there was this shared, the small area which was attached to the washroom, the bathroom, and the toilet, and there was a wash basin on the right hand side. So that was the area that was shown to me in that dream as I looked down from the stairs. And also, that area was was attached to a stairs that went up uh, to the first floor with a Monty in the middle. So that is what had happened. So that is what had happened. And okay, so yeah, she leaves, and apparently the crocodile is now going to be delivered anytime as I walk downstairs and find myself on the central veranda of the ground floor of our second rented house in the Chima colony. The first on the right. The first on the right, it means the first house on the right as we enter into the Chima colony of this of the town Pundri where I spent, where I had my schooling, and I spent my childhood there with my brothers and parents. So, as I was writing the above, so this is something the drones showed me. So the drones that are this is they have an implant inside my head, and they are able to show me things, and they're also able as they saw what I was writing, they showed this to me, and back then what was coming, or they told some truth. They told truth of the future, or they were an orthogonal. They showed the orthogonal, or you could compare the situation with the given dream, and then you could conclude or deduce the reality that you were going through with the dream. But what I have written here, this is from the implant that they put inside my head. So the dream continued. I had quickly rushed downstairs to my home's floor because I didn't know what dial they were about to give me for us to keep in my home. Now, I was quickly rushing downstairs to my home's floor because I knew that they were going to deliver the crocodile anytime, and I didn't want to be around when it was when it was getting delivered. I wanted to be hidden somewhere, and yeah, and I wanted to get away from it at a safe distance before they. As soon as I reach downstairs, I see that they have slit the cardboard crocodile box in front of the stairs, and the crocodile's bright yellow tail with a checkered pattern is already partially out of the cuboidal yellow and white box. And then the box stares by itself, and no one wants to open it, but the crocodile's tail is already half out, and the lid of the box slightly slid to the side. So as soon as I reach downstairs, I see that they have split the crocodile box in front of the stairs. So they slit the crocodile cardboard box. They did not just place it there. They did not just place the cardboard box there, but they put the cardboard that had the crocodile inside the cardboard box. That's how they delivered the crocodile. They put it in front of the stairs and slid it inside. And then the crocodile's bright yellow tail with a checkered pattern was already partially out of the cuboidal yellow and white box. And then the box slid down the stairs by itself. The box slid down the stairs by itself, and no one wanted to open it. No one wanted to open it as it had the crocodile. But the crocodile's tail was already half out, and the lid of the box slightly slid to the side. Now, as they slid the cardboard box into uh, into the hall through the stairs, and it was now in the hall, its tail was already out, and its tail was had a checkered pattern in yellow, in bright yellow. And the box, no one wanted to open the box. Yeah, but the crocodile's tail was already half out, and the lid of the box was already slightly set to the side. And it was very much apparent, or it is very much, so let me continue reading as it is written. It is very much apparent that the crocodile can come out of the box by itself, and it does, which sends me running away, and I end up floating in the air to evade it. This crocodile that they sent to us is the only unique crocodile they had, as it is yellow in color and has thick, square, checkered, shiny scales on its body. This is the only crocodile which was yellow in color. It was bright yellow in color and had thick, square, checkered, shiny scales on its body, on which, when light reflects, it left a multicolored reflection on it. So the crocodile had scales. They were bright yellow, but they were so shiny that when light reflected off them, the scales reflected multiple colors and it left a multicolored reflection on the scales. The crocodile is the size of an adult, and though it carries an innocent expression, it still moves like a crocodile and causes everyone to run around. Now, my youngest brother and mom are alarmed by its presence as well, but I am the most scared as I am not even on the floor, but floating high in the air. There is a single foldable bed lying against the wall, on the left side of which lies the toilet room, while on the right side of it lie the stairs to the small room that lies on the intersection of stairs that go to the first floor. That small room is the Monty that I talked about before, that I mentioned before, and there is a bed made on the folding. So between the stairs and the toilet, the space there, I saw there was a foldable bed spread there, and on top of it was a bed made. And my mom lies below it on the floor on her left side, with the back resting against the wall, while my youngest brother lie on top of the folding on top of my mom. So my youngest brother was lying on top of the folding, and my mom, she was lying below the folding. So on the in the space below the foldable bed had empty space below, and she was lying there. Yeah, and her back was resting against the wall, and she was lying on her left side. I see that the crocodile quickly moves below the folding and lies beside my mom. Okay, so I have to let me complete this tree. Yeah, so it's about completed. I have to send a mail to one of the people from from the place that I am currently working at. Yeah, so that is another revelation fulfilled, that on which perhaps I would make a video. Um, my mom lies below it on the floor on her left side with the back resting against the, while my youngest brother lie on top of the folding on top of my mom. I see that the crocodile quickly moves below the folding and lies facing her, and its scaled back gets covered by the bedsheet end hanging down the bed. So the crocodile went below the foldable bed, and it moved below the foldable bed in such a way that I could understand that it was actually facing my mom. As it scaled back, uh, as it scaled back, also went inside the folding and it got covered by the bed sheets end that was hanging down the foldable bed. Its tail is still out of the bed. Its tail is still out of the bed. And I'm so worried about my mom. She doesn't seem to have noticed that the crocodile went below the bed and lay beside her. As I don't see any movement, I look below the bed from the side of her legs. So I'm looking below the bed from the side of her legs. Yeah. So I am not looking below the foldable bed the the length, from the wide length, from where the bed sheet is hanging, the loose end of the bed sheet is hanging, and along which my mom and now the crocodile is also lying. But I look below the foldable bed from the other end, from the other open end, from the side of the legs of my mom, through which the crocodile isn't visible, though except for its tail that's protruding out from the bed's front. Uh, yeah, so when I looked below the bed from the side of her legs, I the crocodile wasn't visible except for its tail that was protruding out from the bed's front. Yeah, so its tail was out from the side, from the wider side, but it was not visible when you looked below the foldable bed from this shorter side, shorter open side. I want to get my mom out from below and away from the crocodile as I frantically move around the bounds from its one end to other. I want to get my mom out from below the foldable bed because below the folding, as there's a crocodile there. As there's a as she was as the crocodile was lying with her, and therefore I was moving frantically around the bed, making rounds. And then I asked for my youngest, Divyanshu is my youngest brother. I asked for Divyanshu's help to from get mom out from below the folding, lest the crocodile eats or kills her. He doesn't seem to be too concerned and doesn't give any meaningful reply. I think that it would be good if the crocodile was led upstairs and locked in the small room for everyone's safety. But I can't see mom is lying facing it. Now, as looking at the crocodile, I was thinking about the space below the foldable bed where my mom laid, and now the crocodile was also there. I was thinking that the crocodile should actually be led upstairs and locked in that small room, the Monte, uh, at the intersection of the first and uh, stairs, turn and the turn of the stairs. So as the stairs turned, took a U-turn, at that place of turn was the monte, and the other end of the monte was visible from the front of the building. I asked for Divyanshu's help. I think that it would be good. But I can't seem to find a way to get it out as my mom is lying facing it. I don't know why she's not moving at all. I couldn't seem to find a way to get it out as my mom was lying facing the crocodile below the um, foldable bed. I don't know why she's not moving at all. And I wondered if the reptile hurt her, but even it didn't move by a lot since it entered below the bed. Now, I was wondering if the crocodile hurt my mom as my mom wasn't moving it, but even the crocodile was also not moving. After it moved below the bed and it was lying there, it kept lying without moving. Till the end of the tail that was out from the wider end of the foldable bed, visible from below the bed sheet. That didn't move it that as the light sky blue cloth cover resembling that of my grocery storage bag protrudes out. So it the crocodile moves out a bit of the foldable below foldable bed as the light sky blue cloth as the light sky blue cloth covering it resembling that of my grocery storage bag. Yeah, so I have a grocery store. So it's a light color. Um, and yeah, so there is a light sky blue cloth that is covering the part of the reptile, the crocodile, that's out below, that's out. And then show you the grocery bag. So this is the color of the grocery bag, and this is the color of the sheet that the this the color of the sheet that covered the crocodile resembled that. Hmm, it seems that it has bent its body outwards, thereby this upper middle body away from my mom, but its long and wide jaw can still hurt my mom. So you see, it seemed like it has bent its body outwards, thereby it seemed like the crocodile had bent its body like this. So its body was somewhat protruding out away. It seemed as if its body was upper body was away from my mom, but its long and wide jaw was still near, as that is not what looked like to be away the the wall, from the side, from one edge of the foldable, from one edge below the foldable bed. I looked at her and she's still not moving at all. And as I observe the situation below the bed in anxiety and worry, I wake up. After I woke up, so this is what happened after I woke up. And yes, I felt a strong nudge to eat a fruit. And I hadn't eaten a fruit for a long time. But this night I felt a nudge to eat an orange, but I hadn't brushed and I was still sleepy and didn't want to eat with a dirty mouth. So having tea with a dirty mouth is different, as it's a refreshing hot drink. But a cold orange in the middle of a cold night seemed a weird thing. So I kept lying and fell asleep after a while. And then again, uh, this again is seems to be from the drone, as they were the ones showing uh, such uh, such visions relating to different actors, or different Bollywood actors or Hollywood actors. But they were showing some visions, or some not visions, and not visions as in they are some spiritual visions, but indeed they have some spiritual connections, because these people that are doing committing this crime, showing me things using those implants, they are influenced by demons. They are spiritually influenced by demons. But yeah, so that is the connection. That is the spiritual connection. These such visions have with with the demonic reality. They kept showing me these things that did not make sense, but I still tried to interpret them in the right way. Whatever was I saw, I wrote it, and I tried to interpret it in the right way, the right meaning. And I looked at all the revelations with an open mind, but interpreting it with the trying to interpret it in the right way. But what if it was a label for something? What if this person was a label for someone else? So that is how I was thinking as the drones kept showing me different things. And God allowed me to keep writing those things as I made a record of how of everything that I was seeing. I was not seeing things out of my own imaginations. They put an implant inside my head. I was having dreams from the Holy Spirit, but uh, when I was awake, it was the drones that would show me things I that were not related to reality, but those were things that they wanted me to see. But the dreams, and there are some visions from Holy Spirit as well, from the Holy Spirit as well, but there are some there are some there is some hay from or there are some things from the drones as well, from the implant as well, and I have recorded everything. Recorded everything. So I will end the stream here, and perhaps I will make another live soon. But I have to write a mail, and I was also editing something. So see you in the next video. So bye. So until then, bye bye. See you. Praise Jesus.